Hi, this is Raj, CEO from Raj Hospitality Management and HI, Hospitality Influencers. I'm sure you would have watched the previous 5 episodes of ours. Today is our 6th episode. And truly, I believe that I have a very dynamic personality, Rajiv Kohli ji. We do respect a lot his father, Mr. Ram Kohli ji, the most stylish gentleman in the tourism industry. He's like a mentor to me also. Today, Rajiv Kohli ji is a joint managing director of Creative Travels, and he holds a lot of important positions in the tourism boards in India and international. A company with just 22, I will say that 22 travel award, the World Travel Award itself. You cannot believe it, right? So it's unimaginable the way they have grown up from 1977 onwards. Very simple man, very dynamic, and I will say that he is the true leader. I've seen him also the way he has grown up in the years. So I'm very happy today. He's my guest of honor in the HI Hospitality Influencers, and it's a treat to watch him today. A very true leader, a very dynamic leader from the Indian tourism industry. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rajiv Kholi. I'm Joint Managing Director of Creative Travel and its other brands. Thanks, Raj, for having me on this. You and I have known each other for a very, very long time, and I remember when I was fairly new in the industry and you were running the hotels in Kerala. That's how we met first, and it's good to have seen you active and start something unique and interesting like this. Who is Rajiv Kohli? I studied in Delhi. When I was in school, I really wanted to be an architect. That was my dream. I studied engineering drawing, did very well in school. But towards the end, someone told me my eyes were too weak to be an architect. So I never pursued that dream, and this goes back in a time where we had very limited options in India. You took sciences in school, you took commerce, you took arts, you went to commerce, eco, or BSc in college. Not the options that everyone has today. So I went to Delhi University, got my bachelor's in economic honors, did well, met my wife in college, my first girlfriend, my only girlfriend, and now my roommate for the last 25 years. Went on to United States to study, get my master's in business. I have an MBA from a top 20 American university with a specialization in marketing and entrepreneurship. I've always been creative, always been innovative. When I was young, I used to love to draw. I used to paint a lot, create things. Doodling keeps me calm. And that's where I wanted to be an architect, and I would have made a damn good architect. Even today, design is my passion. I mean, the blue wall is something that I love. Finished my eco honors, went to US, got my MBA. Did some interesting work when I was in the US. Did some consulting during my course with Harvey Comics, Nestle, Mattel. But I also got the opportunity to work part-time with Toshiba. So I was very lucky in those days to get that opportunity. But in 1994, sort of I'd already finished us working for a few months. Me and my now wife, then girlfriend, decided we need to return home. She was also studying, getting her PhD in economics. We decided that we wanted to go home because that was always the plan. I mean, we never wanted to live in the West. We could have very easily. I had a job. She had 3 job offers from major universities to start. So we came home, and I still remember this was June of 1994. And for those of you who were born back then and were active, it was a very, very different India. We were very closed, had very little luxuries. I mean, a pair of jeans, Reebok shoes were something we used to buy overseas. It's the time when Indians would shop. For those of you who won't, go back and see the crisis India had in 1993 when India was bankrupt. How then Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh as the finance minister opened up the Indian economy and are allowing us to today enjoy all the options and consumerism we have. So I came back in June of 1994, sat around for a month, moping around trying to figure out what to do. And I just went to the company in August, 1st of August, joined the family company Creative Travel, and haven't left since then. It's 25 years and some months right now. No regrets. I was very educated. I am very skilled. I could have done anything I wanted to do. I could have worked for a multinational, could have got into consulting, could have stayed in the US. But coming back to my country just felt like the right thing. We all have choices in life, and I'm not going to say those who live abroad are betrayed the country. I would never ever even suggest that. But everyone makes a choice based on what their heart says and where they go. And that's a decision me and my wife took at that time, that our heart lay in living in India. So we came back. I joined the company. She joined economics as a researcher. Ultimately, her last job before starting her own company was at the National Council of Applied Economic Research, which is one of India's most important think tanks for economics. So I joined the company, and my brother also joined around the same time. I tell people, I was born with certain skills. I had good education, and you cannot discount the value of education. For those of you who have seen me speak, read my writings, my articles, my story, seen me on stage, I owe all of that to the investment my parents made in my education in India and globally, and how I was raised. So I tell people why I am successful today and where I went on my journey was because of the training I had in my education, but also from my father, Rajiv Kholi. Some of you on the older side there will remember my father. He's the founder of the Indian Association of Tour Operators, the global president of ASTA, and so much more that he's done on the board of global chairman of PATA, so much more that he's done over the years. And that inspired me. I remember when he dragged me and my brother to our first ever trade show, I think it was WTM, perhaps 1994, how he took us to the ITBs, and slowly he took us into the association world where I discovered my passion of giving back to the industry. I've been very active in that. The company has done well. We have grown. We were very small. Today we are a very credible mid to large size organization, and we're very happy where we are. I learned one thing, a few things, but things in operating my business. Aiming to be the biggest is no longer relevant. It doesn't make sense. Aim to be the best. It doesn't matter the size of the company you work in or you have. It doesn't matter who you work for. What matters is, are you delivering a level of service and quality which makes you happy and makes you proud? And that's what we at Creative Travel have been doing for the last many years. And I feel that's what sets us apart. Our innovation, our desire to showcase the destinations very differently, and our integrity and honesty. I know I have my detractors, I have people who dislike me, that's fine. If I did not have people who dislike me, that would have meant I wasn't doing anything great in life. But I also know I have amazing friends who I can call upon in a time of need. I don't have to prove anything to anyone as a person or as a company. So I've been very focused in trying to make the brand and trying to instill that pride in the people, the men and women who work for us. And that we have been very successful. My journeys of working with associations started with ICPB, the India Convention Promotion Bureau. And I think that was my first. I mean, I am essentially a very shy person. I don't like cocktail parties where I don't know people. I don't like just random socializing with people I don't know. That's me. I'm a strange introvert, because when I tell people this, they look at me, because the Rajiv Kohli that a lot of you know is very bubbly, very on presence and talking. But I like my close friends and I like my peace and serenity. I need people, but I like my comfort zones. So I remember my father taking me to my first ever meeting for the India Convention Promotion Bureau, ICPB. And slowly he shoved me into the board at that time. And that was my first interaction with the associations in the Indian space. And I slowly grew up the ladder to ultimately become vice chairman, which is the highest position the private sector holds, chairperson being from the government. And I felt I did a lot of good. I ultimately got on to IATO, the Indian Association of Tour Operators. I was also chapter president of ASTA, American Society of Travel Advisors, then Travel Agents, which was the largest chapter outside the United States. I helped start the chapter for SITE, the Society for Incentive Travel Executives. But before coming to that, so I was in IATO, first as vice president, then senior vice president. And it was a great experience. Did I like the politics? No. I think some of the people are very, very petty, old-fashioned, disruptive and destructive. Fine. But I liked the opportunity to create a new model for the IATO convention, which I did. I designed 5 conventions. And my passion was very clear. My direction was very clear. We have to deliver education that helps our members improve their business. It's no longer important to talk about relationships between hotels and tour operators and airlines, and we needed to do things which were cutting edge, which were new. Intellectual property protection, succession planning for family businesses. And the last one I did, we brought in Facebook from Singapore to speak, and it's the first time Facebook had ever spoken to any association in India before for anything. So there were a lot of small things that we brought in, and I did get good feedback, so I was very satisfied. Is that I always believe if you can change the life and add value to even one member, it's a job well done. That's my benchmark. We have to be enabling. So after IATO, I had the opportunity, or around the same time actually, 2012, I got elected to the international board for SITE, the Society for Incentive Travel Excellence. It is the global body for the incentive travel industry, over 2,500 members in about 90 countries. It was a great honor. That was my first real experience of working in a very multicultural, sectoral international board. We had clients, we had suppliers, we had very senior people of the global incentive travel industry, hotel industry, airline industry from all over the world. And I was representing all of Asia. There's a different member for China, a lovely lady at that time who was like a sister to me. And I was representing all of Asia. And I was very, very proud to be of something so large and impactful. Very soon, they asked me to become vice president. I'm already about 7 months into my first year. You do 2 terms of 3 years each. About 7-8 months in my first year when I get a call from my mentor, Mary McGregor, I'd like you to contest as vice president. I said, but I just joined and I wasn't ready. But she persisted, and I rose the ranks to become the first ever Asian to be president of this association, which is about 47 years old now. And to me, that was very profound. For an association which people generally call very Americanized because 50% of the members are from the US and Canada, to elect an Asian, and that too an Indian, to be their president was very profound, and to me spoke volumes of the insight and the openness of this organization. I was asked to stay as president for a second term, which was also a first. That's not happened before. And I had the opportunity to change things, not only within the organization, but we be part of actions which helped destinations across the world grow on the journey of incentive travel. And it is by far the most fulfilling professional thing I have done. Even today, I gave up my presidency second term to end of 2017, but I'm still involved. I'm still on task force. I'm still speaking on behalf of site in various forums in India and across the world because I love it. It's my passion. It's my baby. I am one of the most awarded incentive professionals in Asia for the work we've done as a company. But I find an enormous joy and satisfaction in giving back to the trade. People ask, why do you do it? Why do you spend your time? Why do you waste your energy? And I'm very clear. If you want change, you have to be part of the conversation. You can't sit on the sidelines and complain and bitch, oh, Hiato doesn't do this, Thai doesn't do this, these people don't do this. No. You want to participate because you want to be a part of the solution. And that's what I truly felt I wanted to be. And that's honestly what gives me a lot of joy. Am I able to change everything? No. Am I a super specialist in everything? No. But I know my heart is clean, and I know with right efforts and right people around you, right teamwork, great things happen. Through great debate come great solutions. My life has been interesting. I've been working in the company for 25 years now. Giving back to your industry is important. Being honest, forthright is important. Okay? Don't speak behind people's back. Don't do politics. It doesn't get you anywhere. I know it's the very Indian thing. It's in our DNA, but hey, it's sometimes time to change, especially in our industry, which is so politically rotten inside. I am a small DMC inbound operator in a country that's not very important on the tourism market. We are incredible India, where we are an incredible country, but we are not an incredible tourism destination. They're two very different things. Yet, I was able to go places, do things, become things that very few others in my colleague in India and other places have been able to do. And that has come purely from determination, purely from perseverance, purely from thinking out of the box. Okay? Nobody gives you a silver spoon when you're born. I did not inherit a big company. I did not inherit all the business we have. I did not inherit any money. Okay? But I inherited a desire to be different. I mean, people say, oh, Rajiv Kohli, big company. Many people don't know. I held 2 jobs and a scholarship to do my MBA. It wasn't free. And back then in the 90s, where every rupee was super hard to get. Okay, it was a struggle, and for my parents to send me to the US for an MBA was truly, I don't want to say an honor because it's much more than that. It was a sacrifice. And today's children maybe don't have the same thing, which is fine. Their children will have a different life as they will have from us. And I'm not that old, but it's a different generation. If you want to succeed, the only person stopping you from succeeding is you. Let's be very clear. It's not the government's fault. It's not the God's fault. It's not the environment's fault. It's not the market's fault. If you want it bad, you will get it. There are success stories across the world where people failed and failed and failed and failed till they succeeded. Nobody really succeeds on the first time. Okay? It takes learnings, and mistakes are those learnings that make you better for the next. So for anybody watching this, look, we are today in a very strange time with the virus. And I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the virus, because not only have I done a number of sessions, but my friends in the industry have done multiple sessions, and there's enough gyan, knowledge, fortune telling out there. I do know we will get through this. We will hurt, people will hurt, jobs will be lost, companies will close, but maybe it's a rebirth by fire. We will get through this, that I am sure, because it's not the first crisis. So listen, everybody takes inspiration in different ways. I took inspiration from my father. I take inspiration from what I see people doing across the world. I made it my mission to pay attention to conferences, seminars, industry leaders across the world, because that's different from what I see within my country. I take inspiration from seeing what people do in other segments of the economy, like tourism, Apple, Microsoft, Nike. There's so many other stories out there of organizations succeeding in their industries, and they may not be directly related to tourism, but they are directly related to the way business is done. I'm very influenced by something in psychology called Maslow's theory, MASLOW theory. Google it. Because when you want to try to get through somebody, how you get through them really depends where they are on that pyramid. And it does affect the way that I do think and market. So that's a little secret I'm sharing out there. Look, Raj, thank you for having me. I hope this makes sense to anyone out there. So as I said, even if one person feels inspired, happy, has something that take away, it's worth my while of doing this video. That's all I can hope for. Happy for any one of you to reach out to me. Look for me on LinkedIn. I am out there, Rajeev Kohli, RAJEV KOHLI. Do interact. Always happy to give mentorship to anybody new, younger in the industry. Contact me. LinkedIn is much better than Facebook. I don't like contacting people on Facebook, but reach out to me. Happy to share, happy to guide, and happy to give you a little bit of my experience. And again, it's only my life, my experience. I don't know it all, but hey, as I said, I'm happy to share and help you along your journey. Stay safe. We will be virus free soon, and we will have rocking business. I know that. Thank you very much, Raj and team, for having me. Stay well.